Hello everybody, this is the Science Exam Review Worksheet, Grade 5, Semester 3 at the International School of Innovation. Let's start with some notes you have to study. First, you have to know that oxygen is one of the constituents of air. Second, you have to know that carbon dioxide, which is CO2, is a second constituent of air. And you have to know that water vapor is the third constituent of air. Now you have to know what is air. Air is a mixture of gases, small particles of dust, and water vapor. What are the main constituents of air? They are nitrogen and oxygen. Air pollution. When does air pollution occur? Air pollution occurs when the air contains gases, dust, fumes, or odor in harmful amounts. What do we call the substance that can cause pollution? The substances that can cause pollution, they are called pollutants. What are the causes of air pollution? Vehicle exhaust from cars emit gases, poisonous fumes from factories, smog, and acid rain. How to reduce air pollution? What are the ways to reduce air pollution? 1. Factory stack and car exhaust must be equipped with filters. This is the first way. Second, you have to encourage your parents to do what's known by carpooling. 3. You have to plant new trees. 4. You have to use unleaded gasoline. 4. You have to tell your parents to turn off the car engine in a traffic jam. And last one, you have to turn off the appliances or the electrical devices when you leave the room. Moving to the second lesson was about elements and compounds. What are elements? What is the difference between elements and compounds? What's the difference between these two? Elements, they are pure substances. They can't be broken. They can't be broken down into simpler substances. They can't be broken down into simpler substances. An example about this: mercury, Hg; carbon, C, be careful, H capital, G small; gold, Au; aluminium, A capital, L small; chlorine, C capital, L small. What is a compound? A compound is a substance formed by chemical combination of two or more elements. Example about this: CO2, carbon dioxide; H2O, water; NO2, nitrogen dioxide, and many more. What is the aim of the process of electrolysis? Electrolysis, from its name, electro is electricity, lysis is cutting down or splitting down. So electrolysis splits water into its components, which are hydrogen and oxygen. As we see here, this is the electrolyzer. This is the electrolyzer. Here we have two beakers. Here too, they are called platinum electrodes, PT electrodes. This is the cathode, which is connected to the negative, so it's negatively charged, while the anode, which connected to the positive, it is positively charged. The gas collected here is called hydrogen gas. The gas collected here is called oxygen gas. So hydrogen gas forms at the cathode, this region. Here we have hydrogen gas, H2, which is negatively charged since it's connected to the negative terminal of the DC power source. And oxygen gas is collected at the anode, which is positively charged, connected to the positive terminal. Moving now to the questions. Question number 1. Classify the following materials as elements and compounds. We have nitrogen gas, carbon dioxide, sodium chloride, oxygen gas, mercury, and nitrogen dioxide. First, nitrogen gas, it's N2, it's composed only of N, so it's an element, so nitrogen gas. Here we can cross it. Carbon dioxide, CO2, it's composed of carbon and two oxygen, so it's a compound. carbon dioxide. Moving to sodium chloride, table salt, NaCl. This one is a compound composed of sodium, NaCl chlorine. Here we can cross it. Oxygen gas, shorts and elements, O2, oxygen gas. Mercury, Hg, it's an element, mercury. Symbol H capital, G small. Nitrogen dioxide, the last one is a compound, nitrogen dioxide. Here we have to put sodium chloride. Moving to question number 2, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless gas present in the atmosphere and formed during respiration. It's used mainly in industry as dry ice or carbon dioxide snow. In carbonated beverages and in fire extinguishers. So pick out from the text the properties of carbon dioxide. It's a colorless, odorless gas and it's formed during respiration. What are the uses of carbon dioxide? It's used mainly in industry as dry ice, carbon dioxide snow, in carbonated beverages, and in fire extinguishers. What are the components of carbon dioxide? Mainly they are carbon dioxide is CO2. So carbon and oxygen. How many oxygen do we have? 2. How many carbons? Only 1. Is carbon dioxide an element or a compound? Sure, it's a compound since it's composed of 2 elements. These elements they are carbon and oxygen. So what are the properties of carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless gas present in the atmosphere and formed during respiration. What are the uses of carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is used mainly in industry as dry ice, or it's used as carbon dioxide snow in carbonated beverages and as fire extinguishers. What are the components of carbon dioxide? Carbon and oxygen, since it is CO2. For example, in the exam, I may give you a question like this. Write the formula of each of the following. This is the formula of carbon dioxide. Write the formula of each of the following. A compound that has 1 carbon and 2 oxygen. 1 carbon, it's C. 2 oxygen, it's O2. So it's CO2. This number should be down the O, not like the CO. You have to write 2. This is wrong. You have to write in this way, CO2. Is carbon dioxide an element or a compound? Sure, it's a compound since it's composed of 2 elements, carbon and oxygen. Now, moving to question number 3, air pollution. According to your acquired knowledge and according to what you studied at home, answer the following question. When does air pollution occur? What do we call the substances that can cause air pollution? List 3 of the causes of air pollution. You have to explain these with explanation. So, when does air pollution occur? Air pollution occurs when the air contains gases, fumes or odors, and dust in harmful amounts. What do we call the substances that can cause air pollution? They are called pollutants. List 3 of the causes of air pollution with explanation. Vehicle exhaust, what does it do? It emits gases from the cars. Poisonous fumes from factories contain toxic gases, and acid rain, which will destroy the plant and the animal life. Moving to question number 4, breaking water into its simpler elements. Observe the figure below, then answer the following questions. Here, this figure is the figure of electrolysis. These are the 2 electrodes, PT electrodes, platinum electrodes. Here, we have the cathode where the hydrogen gas is formed, and here the anode where the oxygen gas is formed. The cathode is negatively charged since it's connected to the negative, and the anode is positively charged since it's connected to the positive terminal. Here, the volume of water here in tube B at the anode is double than that formed at the cathode. What do we call this process? It's called electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water. What is the aim of this process? Electrolysis splits water into simpler elements. These elements they are called hydrogen and oxygen, since the formula of water is H2O. The same as I said before. I can give you a question. H2O. I have a compound that contains two hydrogens and one oxygen, so it's H2, two hydrogens and one oxygen, H2O. Explain how can we test the gas produced. When a flame, is approached to tube A which contains hydrogen, a pop sound, a small explosion will occur. This is hydrogen gas, what's called pop sound test. And the gas in tube B will relight an extinguished flame. This gas is called oxygen. So what do we call this process? Called electrolysis. What is the aim of this process? It's to split water into its simpler components. These components they are called hydrogen and oxygen. Since it is H2O. Moving to how can we test the gas produced? So when a flame is approached to a test tube A, the collected gas will burn explosively, will make a pop sound test. This gas is called hydrogen gas. While the gas in tube B will relight an extinguished flame. This is called oxygen gas. Question number 5. Composition of air. This circular graph was called a pie graph or circular graph. What does this graph show? This graph shows the composition of air. It contains 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and other gases they represent only 1%. So give a title for this figure. You can simply say pie graph showing the composition of air, or you can say circular graph showing the composition of air. What are the components of air? Mainly they are nitrogen, oxygen, and other gases. Which gas in the atmosphere is needed for combustion? To burn something, this gas is called oxygen gas. So give a title for this figure. We can say oxygen pie graph showing composition of air. What are the components of air? Nitrogen, oxygen, and other gases. Which gas in the atmosphere is needed for combustion? It's oxygen gas. Among the components of air, give one element and one compound. You can have many elements and many compounds. One of these elements you can say oxygen gas, it's an element, O2. You can say nitrogen gas, N2. For example, compounds, you can have many compounds. One of these compounds is CO2. Carbon dioxide is a compound that made up of two elements. These elements are, first one is carbon and the second one is oxygen, so it's CO2. So among the components, give one element and one compound. You can give oxygen, you can give nitrogen. Compounds, you can give carbon dioxide, CO2, nitrogen gas, it's N2, oxygen gas, it's O2. Carbon dioxide is a component that's made up of two elements, carbon and oxygen. For example, water is a compound that is made up of two elements, H2O. They are hydrogen and oxygen. So be careful to this question. You may have such a question in the exam and you have to solve it. This is an easy question, so good luck, study well, and the exam is not hard, it's so easy. Just study well and concentrate, and good luck. Bye bye.